Welcome back, fans. This is Nicardo Media House. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Whenever you're watching this video back on the replay. Reggae boys are out after Gold Cup. We got beaten last night by Mexico 3-0. It was a poor performance, really poor. Really sad. I'm really frustrated. It was painful to watch. Depressed at one point. You know, um, I was trying to even do a video last night, a reaction video, and it just that energy wasn't in me last night, to just pick up the camera and sit in front of it and do a video. But I'm here this morning, I recovered a little bit, but I'm not fully there as yet, I'm a diehard reggae boy fan, I'm a Jamaican, so it's going to be painful, but it's all in the game, we're not going to win everything, sometimes we're going to lose, sometimes we're going to draw, but it's the way how the team played last night, I was expecting a better performance, we have big players, we have a good squad, so I was expecting a more collective game, big players to show up on a big stage whenever we need them the most. It didn't happen, the coach failed us tactically, substitute wise, experienced players like Andre Blake, Damian Lowe, players that played in these games before, So as the game started yesterday, right? In the first minute, we concede. We concede off. It was our own. We took a free kick, a set piece free kick, around like 45, 50 yards away from from the 18-yard box, close to the touchline on our right side, and the ball bounced out back, and I think it was Bobby Reed and someone else that collide. It was three players going for the ball at the time. It was a Mexican player, and I think it was Bobby Reed and another defender, and they catch us on the counter, and they scored from that, and that was too early. When you played Mexico, you can't get like you can't get panic. You can't concede in the open 5 minutes of the game, because there and there they're going to start to feel good. Their spirit going to go up. Don't even mention the fans. The fans going to give them a lot of energy. So it everything just started out wrong for us. And players that who played in these fixtures before, as I said before, Blake, even Kevin Lambert, um, Leon Bailey played in a couple of fixtures, Damian Lowe. I think when they scored that opening goal in the first minute, Henry Martin, even that goal, right? When that ball came across to Henry Martin, the striker, he control and then fire. But I think Amari Bell I think he was slightly right behind of him, and Javian Brown was in front of the ball. As a defender, something like that, the player take a first touch. The moment he took that first touch, you should be rushing to the ball. Yeah, both guys. I think Javian Brown, he stood firm on his ground, and I don't know what he was doing. Amari Bell, he anticipated late when he took the first touch and about to shoot, then he started to react. As soon as that ball was coming across, you need to be ready for that cross. You need to be ready, and it scored, and we went down too early in that first half, and the fans played a lot. They started to cheer. They started to wave their team on. Jamaica team. I think we collapsed. Yeah, we collapsed. I think we got scared a little bit. We just started to just run around. A whole lot of space. That 4-4-2 coming up against that Mexican 4-3-3. You can 3-4-2-1 formation at times. But we didn't really organize the team after we went down. We didn't react well, and think that played a lot on us as a group of players. That's why I was saying, players like Low, should regroup back the team, settle back everyone, go back to what the coach said in that locker room before you guys came out on the pitch. Stick to whatever the coach said. You know, just relax and just go back to the basic and play back your natural football. You understand? But I think that 4-4-2 killed us. That 4-4-2 killed us because when they had three men in the midfield, at some point in the game, Antuna, Pineda, they are the both wingers. Antuna played on the right, Pineda played on the left. Sometimes they drift in, and that is like a 5v2 in the middle. Kevin and Joel Latiba there, they were confused. They don't know who to mark because players were just running around in the middle, too many spaces in the box, too many spaces in the midfield areas. Sometimes Damian Lowe get dragged out deep into the midfield areas. I think they already knew that he kind of play like that. So there's always attacking players, go on Damian Lowe and drift out, because they already know that he's going to follow them. And when he did that, when you don't win the ball and you get dragged out, like you leave a lot of space in the back. So it was really poor. Deshaun Bernard, that second goal. I think he he received that ball. I think it came back out to him. I think it was a set piece or something again, and that ball came back out to Deshaun Bernard, and he was on the left, close to the halfway line, to the touch line. He could have simply turned and play that ball back to the keeper. He rushed and he boot the ball, and that just came back right on us, and that's how the second goal score. That's how they got a free kick from that, and Chavez, man, it was a brilliant free kick by Chavez. You can't give these guys, especially Chavez, free kicks. He's lethal on set pieces. As throughout the tournament, he's been whipping in set pieces for the Mexican team. Corner kick and stuff like. You saw that goal he scored in. I think it was in the last World Cup. Yeah, so the second half, right? Started off second half, he made a change. He brought Boza on, and he took Kevin Lambert out, and I think that could have been a better substitute if he put Daniel Johnson in for Kevin Lambert, and just push back Bobby Reed in the middle and go one up top and use the wingers to play a little bit closer in because the Mexicans were flooding the midfield. They were flooding the midfield with players. And don't even mention how they break out on the left. Gallardo and Jorge Sanchez, both fullbacks, they were pushing really high. And when they push high, they have their wingers, sometimes Antuna and Pineda, they drift wide, like really deep on the touchline. So our wingers wasn't really coming back much. So our fullbacks, they be defending a lot of 2v1 and they overload. So so it was really awful, especially like with Javier Brown. I don't think when it comes to the big games, he have proven himself that he can play in big games like that. He always been poor in big games. Even that game in the Nation League, back in the Azteca, he was poor. I really don't know. He was just all over the place. He was just running. Amari Bella's, it wasn't his best, but could see that he was trying to go up the field, but it was hard because on his side you have the Mexico right back Sanchez and the winger Antuna. They just keep overloading him and they just keep going at him 2v1. So it's hard for a defender to defend 2v1. Yeah. So the substitute, he brought on Dojan Dodge and Richards, Whisper. And the last couple of minutes that, Whisper came on the pitch for, he was actually really looking good, As a young player like him, he's fearless, he don't scare of anything, he came on the pitch, he sprinting, he passed the ball, Whisper sprinting across just to collect it back, turn, he was trying to make things happen. They fouled him, I think, a couple times, but you can see the energy, and the spirit and how he want to play the game. So bigger things gonna come to Whisper, but I think Whisper should have came on the pitch more early. Some people gonna say, "Oh, we miss Corberg." No, I don't think we miss Corberg because even if Corberg did available last night, he wouldn't really make a difference. So I think Whisper would have been that early, quick substitute. Bring on a young player that hungry, want to win, want to prove himself. Just get on the ball and just run at people, but it's all in the game. Whisper going to have a lot of opportunities to do stuff like this, but yeah, just move on from this. I just want to say this, man. Look, the fans who travel around the US to support the boys, pay them flights, pay ticket fee, everything, hats off, salute, the support, give the support to the team. They needed it at that point. And I just want to just let the team know that we still a support the team no matter what, even though we lost, that tournament we're not going to get a better tournament to win, to all that setup. The US with a weaker team, Mexico is not really playing that great, but I would say, this tournament can be for preparation for the big things to come. The World Cup qualify. The Nation League is in September. We have 2 games. So it's good thing to come. A lot of new players coming. New coach. Yeah. So the coach by this tournament, the coach going to realize a lot of things. A lot of players. That we're going to need midfielders. We're going to fix that center forward position because Mikel Antonio is going up in age. So the next World Cup is like 3 years from now, and Mikel Antonio going to be like 35. So a whole lot of change is gonna come, but young team, Deshaun Bernard, Dexter, Joel, players that haven't played in tournament like this, they got a lot of they're gonna gather a lot of experience playing into the CONCACAF region, because we're going to need them, when it comes to the big thing, the World Cup qualifier, when we're traveling to Central American countries, it's really tough to play there. But just give thanks to the man, really appreciate it though. Really appreciate it though, yeah. Trying the best, Fortunately we didn't win, but it's all in the game. But yeah, we are move on to better things. We're going to move on to better things. But yeah, this was a quick reaction on what happened last night. But I really appreciate it. This is Nicardo Media House. I'm out. Salute.